We shall fight in the field.
Mit der Akzeptanz der
C'est pas parce que les
vier
Britanniques
Grundfreiheiten und dazu gehört
ont
auch
décidé
die
de sortir qu'ils ne doivent pas
Freizügigkeit
être
der
associés à ce
Personen.
processus.
Brexit means Brexit.
Hello and welcome to another Brexitometer brought to you by the Martin Center. You can see around me London in all its majestic charm and kindness in the middle of the winter. This is actually an emergency Brexitometer coming to you on the intersection of two major developments. We're recording this on the day after the government has announced that we actually have a vaccine for COVID. This is actually the big positive news. And the other development is actually a non-development, which is that we still don't have a solution on the Brexit negotiations. Actually, at the time of recording this, we may be expecting an announcement anytime soon, but we felt that the vaccine news really warrants an emergency Brexitometer because this is really a big news for the UK, and as we'll see, it actually ties in with Brexit as well. So what's in store for us for this frenetic month of December? Let's go have a look. So first we'll start with the good news, which is that we have a vaccine, Habemus vaccine. The British government announced that it has approved the Pfizer vaccine for immediate rollout. They're actually expecting vaccinations to start within days. The UK so becomes the first major country in the world to approve a vaccine, something really important for a government that uses the adjective world-beating a bit too much and a bit too often. Of course, it's a good news, but this is going to be the UK and this is going to be the Brexitometer if there weren't a Brexit dimension to it. Some people in the Conservative Party have made the claim that the fact that the UK has announced the vaccine before the EU is a great sign about how great things are with Brexit. It really shows how quick and flexible the UK can be without having to wait for decisions made by the EU. The Minister of Health actually suggested that. Now, it is true, to be fair, that having a vaccine earlier than the EU looks good. It's a political victory for the government, no doubt about it. But is it because of Brexit? One thing that we have to remember is that we're still in December. We still have 3 weeks to go until the end of the transition period. For all practical purposes, the UK is still an EU member. It functions like an EU member. The government made use of EU regulations to be able to approve the vaccine. There is an EU regulation that says that for emergency purposes, countries can go ahead and approve medication without waiting for the EU. And it's precisely that rule that the UK used in order to be able to approve the vaccine quicker than the EU. Now, of course, there's the political will, there's the political capital. Other EU countries are committed to sticking together and waiting for the EU to approve a vaccine collectively. But still, this still shows you how even in the middle of something so positive, such as a vaccine, Brexit always looms in the dark. And the reason is that we're also still in the middle of a negotiation. So let's go see where we are on this front as well. Now to the slightly less positive news, actually the no news, and in this case, no news is bad news, which is what's going on with the negotiations. At the time that we're recording this, we actually know nothing. We're expecting everything. We can expect anything, but we know nothing. There have been quite a few noises, both from London and Brussels, about where the negotiations are. But we do know that at this point, things have gone above the level of technical negotiations, and we're at the level of political machinations and diplomatic tactics, right? The noises coming out of London that we are close to a deal clearly happen because the UK wants to apply pressure on the EU to have a deal. The noises coming out of Brussels that various EU countries prefer a no deal to a bad deal also is a way to apply pressure on London. At this point, what we're hearing is that it really all boils down to fish, which is really strange because fish isn't really that big part of the British or the European economy. But for the UK, control of the waters is a sign of independence. It's really a symbol of what Brexit is about. And on the other hand, there are some really concentrated interests in the fishing industry, namely on the coast of France, who really want the best possible outcome. Hence also the role of potentially France and the Netherlands and Denmark in pressuring for a positive deal on that front. The only thing certain is that even if we get a deal, and by the time you watch this, there's an announcement of a deal, things will not be over. we still need ratification, and this has to happen in an express procedure of merely 3 weeks. Particularly on the side of the EU, this can take a long time because we have 27 member states and the European Parliament who need to scrutinize the agreement. So the ratification of the Brexit deal will be a bit like the vaccine. It will have to be really quick, and we'll have to jump through a lot of hoops to make it happen in a much quicker way than what it would otherwise happen. But in any case, things are very tight, and the timetable is still very tight, even if we have an agreement. So that was an emergency episode of the Brexitometer, a bit shorter than usual. We're playing the waiting game here ourselves as well. We still don't know what's going to happen. As I said, by the time you watch this, we may have an agreement, but we will still need to scrutinize and see how the ratification process will go. Announcing an agreement will only be the first step in 3 very frenetic weeks. We might have political developments in London as well, as the Conservative Party tries to digest the agreement. We don't know still what the Labour Party will do in Parliament. So having a deal only partially solves the problem at this point. Of course, by the next time we meet, we may not have a deal at all, and we may have to be thinking in many different ways. Perhaps by that point, COVID will be the least of our worries. In any case, we'll see each other again soon. Let's take a moment to celebrate the fact that we have vaccines. So there is a light at the end of the really dark and really sad COVID tunnel, but there's still no light, or we still don't know where the other tunnel, the Brexit tunnel, ends. In any case, we'll see each other again soon. Until then, take care.
We shall fight in the field.
Mit der Akzeptanz der
C'est pas parce que les
4
Britanniques
Grundfreiheiten, und dazu gehört
ont
auch
décidé
die
de sortir qu'ils ne doivent pas
Freizügigkeit
être
der
associés à ce
Person.
processus.
Brexit means Brexit.